Every Sunday, the grand hall of Holy Water Ministry was packed with people from near and far. The congregation sang praises with tears of joy streaming down their faces, thanking God for sending them a savior. Prophetess Patricia, known as Mama See It All, stood at the altar in her flowing golden robe, her voice like honey, soothing the troubled heart of her followers. To her flock, she was a saint, a woman chosen by God to bring healing, miracles, and blessings. But behind the glittering veil of righteousness lay a darkness so chilling, it would one day shake the very foundation of her church. The crowd inside the church was diverse: wealthy men seeking business success, barren women desperate for children, and poor hoping for miracles to end their suffering. They believed Prophetess Patricia could see into their lives, speak directly to God, and change their destinies. But few noticed the strange disappearances happening around them. A mother who visited Mama for counseling never returned. A young boy who came for healing was never seen again. Entire families torn apart, yet no one dared to question Mama See It All. Who would suspect a woman of God, the villagers would say. Patricia's fame rise was not by divine calling, it was by dark rituals. Deep in the forest behind the church, she had built a shrine where she performed sacrifices to a spirit that granted her wealth and visions. Her golden robe, her jewelry, and even her voice of prophecy were tied to the spirit's power, sustained by human lives. But her darkness did not stop there. Patricia had another, more sinister business: human trafficking. She worked with dangerous syndicates, selling children and women to distant lands. Body part trade. Those who sought private counseling often fell victim. Patricia's henchmen would drug them, and their bodies would be harvested for organs and sold to underground markets. She justified her actions to herself, thinking, if God chose me, then my survival is also part of his plans. For years, Patricia's church grew into fame and power, but the disappearance became too frequent to ignore. Ifeoma, a young woman in the congregation, began to suspect something was wrong. Ifeoma's elder sister, Chinaza, had gone to see Patricia for counseling 3 months ago, but never returned. When Ifeoma asked the church workers, they dismissed her. She left right after her session, they said coldly. But Ifeoma knew her sister would never abandon her family. Her questions were met with warnings. Do not challenge God's prophetess. Mama See It All cannot be doubted. Still, Ifeoma could not let it go. One night, Ifeoma decided to investigate. She hid near the church, waiting for everyone to leave. At midnight, she saw Patricia's headmen dragging young women out of the counseling room. They carried her unconscious body towards the forest behind the church. Ifeoma followed, her heart pounding. Deep in the woods, she stumbled upon Patricia's shrine. What she saw froze her in place. A table stained with blood, skulls and bones scattered around. Patricia's chanting in a language Ifeoma did not understand. Her golden robe replaced with a black one. Ifeoma ran back to the village and told the villagers what she saw. At first, no one believed her. Why would Mama do such a thing? She is God's chosen, they argued. But Ifeoma's persistence forced them to act. The next day, a group of brave men stopped the church during a church service. They demanded Patricia explain the disappearances. At first, Patricia denied everything. She cried, calling it a demonic attack on her ministry. But when the men searched her counseling room, they found blood stains and drugs hidden beneath the floor. The villagers were horrified. Patricia tried to escape, but she was captured and taken to the elders. Under pressure, Patricia confessed to everything. She admitted to using fetish power to fake her prophecies. She revealed her dealings with human traffickers and organ traders. She spoke of the spirits that demanded sacrifices for her continued success. Her followers wept. The woman they had worshipped as a saint was nothing more than a criminal. Patricia was handed over to the authorities and sentenced to life in prison. Her church was shut down, and the villagers began to rebuild their lives. But the scars remained. Many families never found their loved ones again. The villagers learned a painful lesson. Blind faith can lead to destruction. Not everyone who claims to speak for God is truthful. Evil often hides where it is least expected. Ifeoma became a voice of the reason in the season and in the village. She reminded them to think critically and question everything. Her words echoed through the years. Do not place your faith in a person. Seek the truth, for it will always reveal itself in time. And so the story of Prophetess Patricia became a cautionary tale told for generations to remind people of the danger of blind trust and the power of truth.